Cuba. I don't think it was that far. Ricketts 14.16. That might be threatened, but no, 14.11 for Akelia Smith. Moves up into third place from fifth in the sixth and final round, and she assures herself of a better mark, something in the 14 metres territory.
Yeah, interestingly, because Filipic was leading early on, and then they reversed the order. So she is next to go. And then there'll only be Ricketts and Perez Hernandez left to try and change their order. But they're in the top two, Smith in third. Now, Filipic would have to respond to get above her. And that really on the edge of what her capabilities are. Oh, that's good, but it's a... Ooh, she knew, didn't she? That's a no jump, sadly. That's her fourth one of the competition, but she probably was in that range that she needed to be. But nonetheless, let's just see how much over the board she was. Yeah, fair bit, to be honest. Eight centimetres. Good jump, though. So two left, Ricketts and Perez Hernandez. Ricketts next to go.
Top four over 14 metres, solid contest. Here is Ricketts, the Olympic silver medalist. Indeed, so often the bridesmaids, it seems, the silver medalist twice in the World Championships, the Jamaican. The most experienced of this generation at 32 and still going so well. She's so long and lean and rangy. Lovely looking jumper. Only fourth in Zagreb's long jump last week. Oh, that's not bad, but I don't think enough to threaten Perez Hernandez. It's way beyond 14 metres again. She might even have improved a few centimetres. 14.16 in round 3. And it was a 14.14 in round 2, so she's been really consistent. And that looks similar sort of distance, actually. 14.22, well, she does find a bit more. Closer to Perez Hernandez, but no improvement, of course. She stays in second place. It's a great way to round off her contest, if not her season, in fact. 3 valid jumps, all of them way beyond 14 metres from Ricketts, and that is really the benchmark of a great triple jumping. She'd be frustrated that she couldn't put one together there, Shanika Ricketts. She's a 14.67 jumper this year. That was at the Olympic Games.
So Perez Hernandez knows she's won. She's already getting emotional about it. She's the Diamond League champion. She knows it. And she's only had one legal effort today. 14.37 in round 2, but that's all it's taken. And outside of the medals in Paris, she did take a silver at the World Indoors. And she was in great form then. She has massive talent. Not the quickest on the runway, but has great jumping ability, the Cuban. So Perez Hernandez then, can she finish it off with a valid yes? Ooh, now, that's actually, we've got to read, it was very close. I said yes, it looked close. Well, it's been a great night for her. 5 no jobs, she won't care about that. She's got a twin sister, actually, Tim, who plays handball. And it's a sport that I watched a fair bit of it at the Olympic Games for some reason, but anyway. That's for her chance to shine. And Perez Hernandez taking the Diamond League title with 14.37 in round 2.
Just the one valid jump in a series, that's all it takes though, of course.
Ricketts second, 14.22 in that final round. Smith also improving in the final round, 14.11, but the two Jamaicans not able to stop the Cuban for taking the win here. Jasmine Moore of the USA, probably the most disappointing, given her abilities, the sort of form that she's been in this year, 13.89 down in 5th. One more track event to come. It'll be the men's 400 metres. And the high jump. We'll just conclude that for you. We know that Garashenko finished in 3rd place with 192. Olaslager's here, 3rd and final attempt at 2:01. The Olympic silver medalist. She's lying in 2nd place on countback. She cleared 195 and 197, each of those at the 2nd attempt, whereas Mahuchik has
jumped on majestically with first-time clearances at every height, up to and including 197. Here she goes, third and final attempt. No, and that would have been putting her in first place. Mahuchik has had 2 failures as well at 2:01. Both of them passing at 199. And now Mahuchik's third and final attempt at 2:01. The meeting record is 2:05 by Chicharova, so that's no explanation for why they passed 199.
No, I think they just both thought, let's go 2 meters. Oh, I thought she had it there. I was just going to say Mahuchik's been so close, but even 2:1, I mean, she definitely had that there, but was jumping better. Olaslaga's had a couple of attempts to get over 195.97. So Mahuchik again winning, as indeed did Perez Hernandez here with the Cuban flag rounder. She definitely is absolutely jumping better here in Brussels. And why not? Enjoying the plaudits of the great crowd that we've had in here. It'll be the same tomorrow evening. It's rumoured to be a tad warmer tomorrow, which would be nice. Take a couple of layers off. But it's been a tricky night in the field. Even the great Mundo Duplantis deciding that, 6:11 was enough for him. So one more event, the men's 400 meters.
Yes, it is.
Eficacitatea Biosil a fost dovedită clinic la nivelul pielii, prin creșterea elasticității acesteia cu 89% și reducerea ridurilor superficiale și profunde, dacă este administrat timp de 20 de săptămâni.
Am pășit într-o lume mult mai bogată, în care să fiu mamă e cel mai firesc lucru. Cu puteri pe care simțeam că le am.
There is Hudson Smith, Matt Hudson Smith, outside the massive talent of the Zambian. Hudson Smith has won his only race since Paris in Lausanne in 43.96. He's won all 3 Diamond Leagues he's contested this year in Oslo, London, Lausanne. There's Kirani James, still in fabulous form. He's been first, second, third and fifth in the last 4 Olympic Games, this man. Second in Rio back in 2016, the London champion. Vern Norwood, 4th in Budapest last year. He's had a fabulous year too, had a great season at 32. He goes in 3. Kabinat Chipi of Botswana goes on the inside. It goes in lane 2 rather, that's semi-finalist in the Olympic Games. Set a personal best in Lausanne where he came 3rd. And then the Belgian Jonathan Sakour being cheered by this crowd, a semi-finalist at the Olympic Games in Paris. 4th in Rome and 3rd and 2nd in Brescia since the Olympic Games, Sakour. So Hudson Smith, desperately disappointed with that Olympic silver in Paris behind Quincy Hall, but the American did top the world lists with that win, 43.40. Hudson Smith would love to not only win here, but maybe regain that top mark on the world list. But it's a cool night for 400-meter running. It really is. So how can he go here? The Briton who goes in 5. Kirani James will be targeting him in 4. Very experienced, James. Norwood's had a good season. He goes in 3. Don't write off Samu Konga in 6. He's the Olympic bronze medalist. So, who shows early? Well, it looks to me like Kirani James has committed here and has made up the ground, and Hudson Smith pretty quickly there through the first 150. Oh, and Hudson Smith eases off, and something's cramped up there. Let's hope it's no worse than cramped. That's an enormous shame. His season has been almost perfect. They come into the second half, though, and still Kirani James going well. Vern Norwood inside him has run an aggressive first 300 as well. And good running too, Mundori on the outside. Very even this one. But look at Vern Norwood in 3. Has the audacity to lead Kirani James into the home straight. James is big and powerful, the Grenadian. And Charlie Dobson down the outside is going to take this one. The Briton wins with a late surge. Holds his form so well through the last 50. 44.49 for Charlie Dobson. That is a massive win for the Briton. Wow. They were battling. They were so intensely battling inside him that they forgot all about the fella out in lane 8, lane 7, the late lane change. He was meant to be in lane 1. Obviously, there was a little bit of negotiation, shall we call it, between Dobson and Jonathan Sakur. And the Belgian eventually getting lane 1, but Charlie Dobson from lane 7 coming through for a big win, the biggest payday of his young career. And the Briton there at the age of 24, Steve, has created, well, perhaps the biggest shock of the night.
But Charlie's just done what Charlie does. he runs his own race. You're right, the lane draw helped. The Sakur never should have been in lane 7, really, so there was obviously a bit of common sense. Matt Hudson got left in the blocks, and I think that then caused him issues. He was not running nicely right from the start, and then wisely, if it's cramp, it did look like cramp, didn't it, rather than a pull or anything. Let's hope it's not that. It looked like it might be cramp. Anyway, the others, you're right, everyone would look around a bit of a strange race. At this point, I was waiting for the great Samakonga charge down the home straight, but it was the Charlie Dobson charge, except it's not so much of a charge, he just holds his form incredibly well. And then he suddenly realizes 50 to go. He was coming, and then races through. You know, he's been very consistent in this zone all year. You know, he has run a little bit quicker, but to come at the end of the year, run 44.49, if you told him that at the start of 2024, you're going to come to the Diamond League final, you're going to win it, and run 44.49, he would have laughed his head off. But there it is. He's done it. And he's one to watch for next year. He's going to have a super 2025.
Well, he wins comfortably there, Charlie Dobson, by a couple of metres. And Kirani James Samakonga third, Norwood fourth. They were battling away inside him. He left it late, held his form really well. His 10 fastest times ever have all come this year, Charlie Dobson. It's been a wonderful season. That is his 5th fastest time ever. But in 2024, he's rewritten his own CV. And that tonight, not only the biggest payday of his career, but frankly, the biggest win of his career by quite some margin. Absolutely brilliant. And some consolation, frankly, for going out in the semi-finals at the Olympic Games. He was the European Championship silver medalist in Rome, remember? But here tonight, he gets it very, very right indeed.
He did, and as you said, Tim, one of the surprises of the evening right at the very end. A lot of the big names did come away with the wins we expected. Julian Alfred winning the women's 100 metres, Olympic champions everywhere. Mahuchik, we've just seen, taking her high jump title again from Olaslagas. Inga Britson winning that 1,500 metres. But, again, guess who they've chosen as the performance of the meet? And there weren't that many meeting records. We were close, we were looking for 1 or 2, but it was always going to be likely that Duplantis would get 6 meters 11, and this is how he did it. He had got the competition, nobody else went above 6 meters, and one attempt only, that's all he needed. I was a little surprised Timmy didn't go higher, but the performance of the day, when you're doing this day in, day out, maybe 6'11" on his CV isn't that high up, but for those in Brussels, they've never seen anybody clear that height, so great that he did. No world record attempts tonight. He can go away now and look back on what's been an incredible year for him. I think an incredible year for you know, the sport generally, but he's up there. He was funny, wasn't he, in the press conference yesterday? They talked a lot about that 100 metres. You can tell he was really pleased with that, his race against Carsten Warholm as well.
Well, it's kind of ironic, isn't it, that he came away from it uninjured and fine, and Warholm, the runner, got injured in it. Kirani James there, enjoying himself with that 44.63, second place in the 400, the last race of the night. The runner, he got injured. 4 home, going Kirani James there, 45 seconds. A few tired legs behind, and indeed, Matt Hudson-Smith, the European record holder, unable to finish.
Just a quick look back on the women's shot put, the Olympic champion Ogunleye of Germany. That was a great win for her. And in a day when 1 or 2 others, including her 2 big rivals, if you like, Jackson and Mitten, who didn't perform at the Olympic Games, they were better tonight. Jackson going over 20 metres, right on the 20-metre mark, excuse me, but Mitten twice over 20 metres. The first, she had 1 legal throw, which was the winning throw of 2025. Her last round throw was huge. Sadly, it was a no throw. It would have been much higher, much further than that, I think. But that was the winning throw at 2025.
Yeah, Canadians enjoying themselves in the heavy throws at the moment, aren't they? Both the goals in the hammer in Paris, men's and women's hammer at the Olympic Games. And Mitten enjoying a great night tonight as well. Well, there's a win there for the Canadian Mitten in that women's shot. Of course, day 2 comes tomorrow. Another 2 hours of solid, non-stop action here. And it'll be Steve Cram and Chris Dennis tomorrow. 2 meeting records, though, tonight. The pole vault, we saw Mundo clearing 6:11. And, of course, Matt Denny in the men's discus in the very first round, going out to 69.96. It's been a fabulous first evening here from the BOTOOON Stadium. From Steve Cram, myself, Tim Hutchings. Bye-bye for now, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to crown the one and only league champions. They are all lined up. They're waiting for their trophy. And another mountain more.
How's it going, brother?
Oh, welcome in.
Appreciate you guys staying a little later.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta do a quick circle real quick, just real quick. What can you do for something like this, man?
The Holy Grail is a relic of religious and cultural significance. It is an item that is a core component of storytelling. From Arthurian legend to pop cultural references, the Holy Grail is a symbol that is meant to add weight to whatever the hero may be seeking